Has anybody any preferences about missions?
I need money. I want to rob.
I'm
And
happy to
sell.
rob. Yeah, I like robbing.
Well, you're in the right place. Have you any particular targets in mind? I do have one idea we could try.
How do you say? Not fame. 3 weeks in Italy and my English is completely gone. My reliability as a fence. If I'm gonna start robbing my clients, that's not gonna be good for me, is it?
It's not a good business model, no.
We could disrupt the coppers. They're in need of a good kick-in around this city.
Let's leave the coppers alone for this time. I do have another mark. He may have some valuable equipment. I know a gentleman by the name of Mr. Flint. He is a spirit trafficker. And I happen to know from personal experience,
Now we're talking.
he obtains objects from the Orient or elsewhere. I don't know where many of his sources are.
Well, sounds a bit bleeding spooky to me.
It is. It can be spooky. It may involve spirits or even demons, perhaps. Who knows? It may even involve shadows. Who knows? But
I don't want to create shadows. I want to steal shadows.
So you can steal his bloody shadow.
Maybe you have some spare.
You have spare shadows?
Okay, yeah, that sounds great.
He would be located, I imagine, in the harbour would be the best place to take him down. I'm sure he has a storehouse there.
Yeah, let's locate it.
So what, you're gonna
storm it.
find your contact and rob him?
So he's my enemy.
Oh, he's your enemy. Okay.
Yeah.
And what is he? Sorry.
He's a spirit trafficker.
What's
So I'm
his name?
assuming, I don't actually know what a spirit trafficker is. I'm assuming he deals with objects. So that's the sort of background. So just from a background.
How did he become your enemy?
Well, it's quite interesting. It's an interesting story. It's funny you ask that, Sterling the Vendor. I was in Orient myself, and I was locating various items for my own study. I came across a particular item, and I'll show it to you. It's a watch that looks like it's been at the bottom of the ocean for like 1,000 years. It's not shiny at all. It's rusted and doesn't work at all. But there is a demon associated with this. A demon called Satara. And I rescued this demon from the spirit trafficker. I don't know what ritual he was performing, but the demon Satara certainly didn't like it. So that's how I know that Flint works with objects and objects which have a ghost field associated with them. So I'd be calling it...
spooky nonsense makes my bones shake.
It can be a little bit...
Scooby-Doo.
It can be a little bit troublesome for some people if you're not used to these things, but it'll be a good test of your
Metal.
fortitude, yes. So I'd be calling in a favour, I guess, from Satara the demon, and at the same time trying to bloody Flint's nose.
Okay.
How does that grab your likes? I'm sure there'll be lots of money involved in this.
I'm always up for a nose blooding.
So yeah, I like the idea to rob this lab because I'm always looking for new schematics, new ideas.
If he's an
material
emergency
to sell.
he must have a shop front. So he knows me by face. That's the only problem.
Could you
Not a
wear a
problem.
disguise?
Well, I could go in there and just antagonize him and use it as a distraction. Cause a ruckus. Yes, I'm going to just go in there and cause a ruckus. It's about time I gave him a piece of my mind. Whilst at the meantime, you gentlemen slip into the back.
Nice and secretive like. Good plan, boss.
Well, you're the secret part. I'm just a distraction.
You are a wily one.
What kind of ruckus would you like to cause?
Summon a demon. I think that will be suitably ruckus-like.
Can you summon a demon?
I don't know.
You can threaten
practice
me.
it somewhere.
Maybe I can help you concocting some device that will make you look in someone in a demon.
Well, the demon I would summon is this very one that's bound to this object, Satara, the demon. He also has reason to hate. I've forgotten his name. The bastard, the bloody bastard.
Flint.
Yes, I don't want to
How
say his
scary
name.
is the Satara, though? If you're going to summon a small, snivelling little ghost,
Well, the last time I spoke to him, and I merely spoke to him, I bled through my eyes and had a migraine for a week. That was just to ask him how he was.
might your ruckus attract the coppers if it's too loud?
It might.
Hmm.
That's the risk I'm willing to take.
Wow, thank you very much. Let's hope it's
We
worth
got
it.
enough blue sniffing around our asses.
Hmm.
Well, I'll be the front man, so I'm the only one at risk. If it all
Okay.
goes wrong,
Okay,
you gentlemen
so
are in the background, you can make your escape.
I don't like to go blind, so I would like to see this, having some informations about the surrounding first, and possibly maybe even acquiring some plans of the building where this shop is, all right? So that we
Sure.
can access the place from the most suitable side. And I have just some people that may give me this information, probably.
I
But
could
that-
always.
Hmm?
I've got burglary gear. I could always do a break-in at night just for basic recon as well.
Well, if you've broken in, that's probably the mission.
That's
Oh,
probably
right,
the
okay.
mission,
Yeah.
Um,
That's- what is that? A
Break-in.
skill burglary? What does that involve?
It just says burglary gear as an item,
Okay.
Mm.
Oh, burglary
What's
gear.
a bandolier?
like crowbar.
Bandolier is
little-
like a belt that goes across your chest.
yeah.
All right.
Um,
And
Well,
then I
yeah,
have gadgets.
that
Yeah, the
sounds
fact
like a kind of plan anyway. That
Hmm.
Nathan's going to distract the proprietor at the front. What are you guys going to do? You're going to go in around the back, or are you going to try and just?
Yeah,
Well,
we are
each
going
one-
to. I mean, like,
Or are you going to go in first?
if this makes sense, the first thing that I would like to try with my character is to acquire informations, to find a suitable place to sneak in from the back. Maybe I don't know if it fits with the system, but even understanding if there is like some really valuable item over there to steal
Sure.
and to look for.
Can I assist with this, or is it best you go alone?
No, it's good. Assisting's always good. Characters assisting give the other person an extra dice.
But it might attract more suspicion to us as a group if there's two of us prowling around doing recon.
It's a city. There's people around. It's whether they attract suspicion or not is down to the roll. So the less dice he has to roll is a reflection of how risky it is. If you've got someone watching your back and like whistling at the junction and giving you the nod.
Or I'm a fine whistler.
So you're gonna get an extra dice from Sterling. Sterling, though, it's stressful. You have to take a stress by giving him that dice.
Yeah, I'll do that. Just one.
Just one. If you, that's kind of the bonus of having someone watching your back is that they take a stress and they give the other guy a hand.
Yeah, I'll do that.
You can also do it yourself, but it costs you 2 stress to do it yourself on your own character. So it's always better.
I'll do.
So Pence, you're doing an information gathering role. How are you gonna? What skill are you using for that?
Well, I'm using. Hold on.
Raoul?
No, I'm using Consort. If I
Consort. All right. So you're okay.
can. I have 2 on Consort, but because I have contacts, and people who owe me informations.
What contacts do you have that are relevant to this?
Basically, I am an independent fence, so I like to make contacts with local gangs to gather their stolen goods, sell them to other gangs. The stolen goods usually are useful goods. I am someone who supplies thieves of thieves' equipment. I don't so much smuggle goods per se, because they always attract police people. That's why I am also an expert in traps.
Okay. Do you have anybody that's an actual contact on your sheet, though? That can
Yes, I actually do, which is actually my enemy.
You can't have him as your contact, mate. He's not...
Yes, I can. He's the dealer, and he's not a nice guy.
But if he's your enemy, you can't use him to get extra dice. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay. Well,
because he's against you, right? He's gonna, if anything, if you fail this roll, it might be because he's heard that you're around town asking questions, and he's kind of grassing you up. Do you see what I mean?
It's not that kind of enemy. I more imagine like someone who's evil, and basically.
That's because you imagine yourself to be good.
There are like degrees of evil. And he's just like, I mean, I didn't, okay, I just imagined that he was my dealer, okay? And he's like just a nasty guy.
What I'm saying though, Pence, is that if he's not marked as an actual contact, you won't get the dice for him. Your explanation is a great explanation of how you're getting that information together though.
All right, so, I see. Okay, so basically, you're
using your consort with all your, and rubbing up against all your contacts in the night market, asking about any sales recently. So,
okay, I can use my friend who's a psychonaut, and he knows thoughts, so he can understand. Sometimes he get voices while he's dreaming. Is a good contact to have because he gets like a lot of random news.
Yeah, that's a bit too vague, mate.
Or I can get like, but I see your point. But he's used for getting information by the monsters.
Flint deals with arcane objects, so actually some of the stuff Flint gets might be from the dream world, or the clues he gets.
Basically, my main contact, my main dealer, is a mobster. Okay, and he is also a drug dealer. He's also a vampire, probably. And therefore he's a very nasty guy, but everyone needs to pass from him if he wants some sort of equipment. Okay, and I know that he has a lot of good information, of course, because that is his job. That means that if I ask him for some information, I may probably selling him the stuff I find, which is not necessarily good, or maybe he's gonna ask me something different later on, which is not necessarily good.
Is he on your sheet as a contact?
He can be. Well, I have friends, Valdrin, a psychonaut, an enemy, Jewel, a blood dealer, which is the one that I was talking about. And where should I put the contact though?
Well, you haven't chosen him as a contact. That's what I'm saying. He's a great background story, and you feel free to pull him in when you need a character, but he won't affect this role. That's all I'm saying. So do you want to?
Where do I have to put the contacts?
You've just read them out to me. You've read out the 2 contacts that you've ticked on your sheet. Do you want to roll your dice then?
But why is not? I mean, to role play the character that he has like a connection with other people. Why none of these can be like one of these people?
They can, but it's the excuse you use to. There's mechanics, aren't there? There's the mechanics of the game, and then there's the color of how we interpret it. Now, when we've rolled the dice, you can interpret it with that background. That's a great background, but you can't just magic more dice. Just I've got contacts everywhere, because otherwise,
no. I'm just asking.
It validates everybody else's contacts, doesn't it?
I am going to. So both of those are contacts. One is more casual, friendly. The other is more difficult to deal with.
I just don't think they're relevant right here, and I don't think this discussion is important enough to justify it any longer. Do you want to roll your dice and get one from Sterling?
Okay, how many? So 3 dice.
Yeah.
D6s.
So wait a minute. It's going to be a risky maneuver and with, I'm going to say, great effect.
With what?
It's going to have a great effect,
Mm.
and it's a risky maneuver, which is like standard maneuver. And if you make it, there's going to be a great effect.
Okay. Okay, I roll. Let's see. I don't remember how the roll-to-lean system goes, so I have a 5, a 4, and a 3.
5.
So 5. So you did it, but with a complication.
You've raised some suspicion with your inquiries. I'm going to start a clock called the Blue Coats.
Maybe they saw me. We were in a different part from what we're normally in. They saw me whistling and trying to keep the peace and thought it was a bit weird.
Flint's antique emporium of fined finds is situated along the Red Oil Road, a popular promenade in the merchant district. One side of the road is fashionable boutiques and tea rooms catering to the nouveau riche. These shops look out across a smart, well-lit road into the Mist River. The river is aptly named as it is constantly shrouded in a veil of mist. Across the river stands the Lightning Towers, the city defence against the horrors that lie in the Deadlands beyond. The lightning strikes through the mist make for a beautiful watercolour background for the fashionable well-to-do to take tea, shop and show off the latest fashions. Pence checks the back alley access to Flint's shop. The cramped backyard has an outhouse and a kennel. The high fence has warding rooms etched into the gatepost, and a pit bull regards you without raising its head from its paws and gives you a lazy warning by yawning its bear-trapped jaws wide. At the front of the shop, Sterling looks in at the bow windows, at the strange contraptions and archaeological paraphernalia on display, oddities captured in the Deadlands, and spirits imprisoned in prismatic crystals dance to entice you in. You see a hawk-faced man with narrow features. He's twitching at the display curtain. He's staring at you, Sterling, with emerald eyes.
I tip my hat at them before I go.
Green eyes burn into your back as you cross the road. You lean against the railings nonchalantly and look out across the river to the display of lightning and fog. Pence emerges from the alley and comes to stand next to you with a sour look on his face. It is then that you sense motion below your feet. You both look down over the rail. Below you are steps to a wharf where a boat is tied up. Some crates are being unloaded and taken through warehouse doors below your feet. Running underneath the road must be a series of vaulted chambers, acting as the delivery spaces and storerooms of the shops. A burly man in shirt and braces signs a receipt for the crates, and looking down, you see the paperwork is stamped Flint & Sons Emporium of Fine Finds. "See you, Frank," says the boatman, and pushes off into the mist. Frank grunts as he closes the warehouse doors and grumbles that the doors have swollen up again. The hinges whine, and there's a crunch as an old lock is forced into place. Pence is smiling now. Here's our way in.
Sorry, to recap, the delivery is not coming from the river side, it's coming from the street side.
So yeah, you've got a promenade street,
Mm-hmm.
and then the frontage of the shops,
Mm-hmm.
and on the other side you've got the river, the Mist River.
Right.
There's some of those steps that lead down into the river.
Mm-hmm.
Where boats pull up, unload, and it's taken inside. It could have been taken anywhere, but as you were like looking out across the river and looking down into this boat, you saw that the paperwork was Flint and Sons Emporium
Oh,
of
God,
exquisite.
with son to deal with as well.
Doesn't
that-
even have a son. His son is a bastard, I'm telling you. I know it.
You have to decide about your how heavy you're going in, which is about your items limit.
I'm going in light because I'm going to be conspicuous.
I'm going in normal. Can I dress the goat up to make it look like a different goat? So that if someone goat and carry it in the future, it doesn't draw
Got a moustache on it, I was like. Okay, so the engagement
You have
roll.
to make
Have you got that up, Nathan?
Yeah, so you get 1d for sheer luck, it says. Then you get
Let me get the dice together.
I'm going to spend the time sharpening my knives.
Right.
I sharpen my demon summoning skills. So 1d for luck.
Yeah.
Take 1 plus 1d if it's particularly bold or daring.
Okay, yeah, you're robbing a rival. That's pretty daring. He's a higher tier than you, so.
Minus 1d if it's particularly complex or contingent on many factors.
Not really.
Plus 1 if it exposes a vulnerability of the target and hits them where they're weakest.
Stealing his delivery.
Or minus 1 if you're going against their strongest part, or if they have particular defenses against this, what we're doing.
Well, we don't know yet.
Friends or contacts, you get plus 1 if you have a friend, and minus 1 you have an enemy. So they cancel each other out because we have both a friend and an enemy on this one, I guess.
Okay.
And are there any other
Who's
elements?
the friend, sorry?
Sorry?
Who's the friend? Or your blood
The
guy?
demon. Yeah, the demon.
The demon. Let's roll it.
Did you get the plus anything from Corso's scouting ahead? From, Pence and Sterling scouting ahead.
I think we got +1 for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, we're starting off in controlled. So.
That means it was a good roll.
Sterling drives down the red oil road in your disguised goat-drawn carriage. You pull up briefly to let Francis step out and cross the street to Flint & Son's shop entrance. Pence jumps out the other side and drops down to the wharf. The warehouse door is sturdy with a heavy lock. As you bend down to tackle this inconvenience, your shoes crunch on the salt crystal placed at the entrance to protect from evil spirits. As you squirt oil from your kit into the hinges, the violent acid eats its way through the lock mechanism. The door swings open silently. Mist cascades over your shoulders into the vault cellar, full of old signs, boxes, barrels, and crates. Sterling joins you as you move into the underway and begin your search. Upstairs, Mr. Flint, the proprietor, is just flipping over the door sign to closed when Francis forces open the door. The doorbell sings with the cleansing ring of a mystic's meditation bowl as you barge in and confront Flint face to face.
About time we had this out.
Flint takes some steps back and goes, "Are you mad, sir?"
Oh, you were just sir. Sir, is it now? That's not what you called me before? Not when we were on that train?
Goes, "You are a thief, sir.
Well,
Return my property."
well, shall we consult with a certain demon and ask him who is the thief? Shall we? Yes, I think we shall.
He says, I'm calling the authorities. The fact that you threaten me with a demon is enough to get you locked away, sir."
Scared, are we? Well, let's have a look. I will try to summon the demon at this very point.
Everything starts going as you open the rusted chromatic device. Do you want to make a roll on that then?
Yeah.
What are you trying to do?
Well, can I just use my tune to get in contact with this my demon friend?
You try, yeah. You can try. He's a contact though. He's not like he's not your personal butler. Don't forget that, Nathan.
Demon friend.
Yeah, well, yes, I guess that's what the dice will say. I might.
Whether he's your personal butler or not.
Don't
Let's see then.
See about that.
Okay, so I think, what are you trying to get him to do anyway? Not just appear. He's likely to appear, or something is.
Oh yeah. So I want this demon to vent its spleen towards Flint.
Mm-hmm.
It's a particular, like we have a history. We do have a shared history, and Satara does genuinely have a hatred for Flint, as it has a hatred for many things. But for Flint, I know it does have a particular hatred. So I just want him to do whatever demons do.
Okay.
Find out what
Directed towards Flint and not me.
Do
Definitely.
you want to do that then? I think that's going to be a. See, contacting demons is always pretty risky, mate.
Yeah.
In fact, I can't really think of anything more desperate than that. It's going to have a pretty great effect though if you make it, but it is desperate.
Ooh,
Yep. Could I have an item? I've got a Demon Bane charm under my items.
That's kind of the opposite from what you're trying to do.
Summon the demon to banish it again.
Demon Bane charm would be to protect, to make sure it doesn't turn its eye on me. And it turns
Yeah, well, we'll do that after you make this roll. If you muck it up and he decides to eat your brains, then maybe you might want to use that then, yeah.
Okay, I was thinking of maybe trying to use it. Can you use objects to make it from desperate to risky? Or is that...
You can try and... You can change that.
There is a way, isn't there?
Yeah, there are various ways.
Okay.
So you can trade effects for the action. So if you want to bring it down to risky, you can bring the effect down as well to standard, for example.
Bollocks. Let's go in risky. I will push myself though.
Okay, so you're going to get 2 stress to get an extra dice. So you're going at desperate or you're going at risky?
Desperate's fine for me.
Okay, let's do it then.
Desperados.
Satara, now is your chance to exact our revenge. You've got 1/6.
Your shadow cast by oil lamps starts to coalesce into a physical darkness. Your irises expand to take up your entire eye. The shadows start to leak around you as the demon manifests.
You thought to enslave me. Let us see who is master and who plaything.
Flint staggers back as this black shadow reaches out across him and like grips his chest and begins to squeeze. He grabs his arm and goes.
Are you going to kill him?
And yeah, it looks like you're totally destroying
Back to
this guy.
business.
So shall we see what Sterling and Pence are up to? They've already stealthed in.
I turn right and start knocking on the
Good
wall.
piece of information.
To see if I can hear any panels or loose up and down.
Yep.
Fairly methodically.
Yep. So there's
so this is probably a finesse roll because it's a bit like picking a pocket. You need to know what, not quietly as to not attract attention, at the same time get good enough sound. And then you need to know what you're listening for as well.
Yep. So you're knocking all along the panel that's this room goes into a corridor that turns left and right. There's also stairs leading up, and you go. Was it left that I said? I forget. So you're knocking and
yeah, around where we expect it might more or less be.
Yeah.
So I've got 1 in finesse, but I get another dice from his help, right?
Yep. You get another dice from his help, and if Pence wants to actually give you physical help, like wants to go along as well with you, going, "Oh, what about this brick?" and things like that. As long as he takes a stress, he can help give you a hand with that as well and give you an extra dice. It's up to you.
How many stresses can I take in one game?
On your character sheet, kind of right in the middle, there's a band that says stress and trauma.
Yeah.
Every 9 leads to a trauma.
Yes.
Yeah. So, okay, I'm going to take a stress to speed up the process and helping him. So I got 3 stresses, basically.
Okay, so you've got
3 dice it is.
36.
It's 2 2s and a 1.
Oh my god.
Fucking hell.
Right.
All right. That's the game. But we can use a flashback. Maybe it's your time for using a
bring me along
flashback.
to this.
Okay.
Just knocking loudly on the wood.
Hello. Suddenly you hear a crash from above you up the stairs. Francis, you see your enemy, Flint, holding his chest, stumble back and smash a load of various objects off a shelf, like crash to the floor. You think, I'm getting you for this. You're having a heart attack. They'll never prove it was me. And you're like gloating over him. More evil than the demon, perhaps, in that you actually thought this up. And as this demon's just like menacing him over your shoulder, like but that event has downstairs. You see a door swing open, with a slam, and you see a younger man with green eyes come out with a pen in his hand. He's looking directly at you, straight down this corridor. He can spot Pence and Sterling as they're up against the walls, kind of knocking as they walk towards this door. He goes, "What the devil?" and shouts back, "Frank, get the gun!"
Oh shit! Right, might we need some weapons at this turn? This could turn into a bloodbath pretty quickly.
They're coming for me, so I'm the only one who has to worry at this point.
I thought they saw us knocking.
Yeah, they have. He's looking straight at you. He's 10 foot away, basically.
Yeah.
So, the stairs is going to draw his attention more. Well,
They're coming for us, right? They're not coming for you.
Yeah, they're going to have to get through you to get upstairs. You're right.
Do you remember I got like the mist grenade to cause a bit of smoke and then to get an advantage for I don't know, knocking them down, then using prowl. Does
Okay.
that make sense? Yeah.
Sure. So you're like lobbing the smoke grenade, and then you're going to dive out of the smoke and smack him in the chops or something.
Yeah. So,
Kind of like using your prowl as like, yeah. Okay.
Mm.
I'd say that was that's pretty desperate.
desperate. Yeah. That's desperate.
If you were running away, then I'd have just said it was risky. But as you're actually going in for punches, I'd say it was desperate. So do you want to? But I reckon desperate and standard. If you're going brawling after this, do you want to make?
How much do I have to roll? How many?
What's your prowl?
My prowl is 1.
1 dice. Then.
1 dice. Okay. And so I'm not rolling wreck first and prowl. I'm just rolling prowl. Okay. That's the same.
If you want to use wreck, you say I'm just going to wreck him. Then you say I'm using wreck now. You'd throw this. It would be the same action. But you'd come out kind of more windmilling towards him. You know what I mean? Like smacking him.
I
like
see
that.
what you mean. I see what you mean.
Whereas
No.
prowl is like there's a big
stunt.
flash, and then suddenly a fist kind of smacks.
I'm causing chaos, and
that's pretty
causing
chaotic. I'd
chaos.
say that's pretty chaotic. Do you want to use wreck?
I'm gonna use wreck, and so maybe even Sterling can use it for his advantage if it works.
Yeah, let's see what you roll first.
I've got another idea actually.
Well, Pence is doing this.
Yeah. 5.
Right, Pence.
5.
You rolled a 5.
Yeah.
Okay, it happens with a consequence. The consequence is as you come windmilling out and smack him, give him a good clout on the side of the head. He doesn't go down. He comes back up and starts like wrestling you onto the ground, and
I have
stabs you in the throat with this pen that he's got.
Okay.
You take a point of damage.
Right. What is it?
I have a flashback. When they first came in, I saw there was a corridor, and I put a trip hazard along the lower part of the corridor. So as he's running towards us, he could potentially trip over. He doesn't know it's there.
You could, but I think Pence has already just like dived into the room with him.
Yeah.
All right.
That was a good one though, yeah. So Pence, can you see you've got a block for damage, a pen to the neck? What would you call that kind of wound? Punctured neck.
Yeah.
Ink poisoning.
Yeah, ink poisoning.
So because it's the first one, it doesn't actually affect your character right now. If you get another low level damage, then you're going to be -1. I think it is. Is it -1 effect? Is that what it is?
I think it's less effect.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So you
less
get -1
effect,
to your
yeah.
effects.
Okay.
So that's damage. So you're wrestling with him.
Nice.
While they're
Nice.
grappling,
Sterling.
while they're grappling, I go in and throw a knife at him.
Okay. That
Skirmish. I have 2 in.
throwing knives into a skirmish is pretty desperate, mate. It will have great effect if it works, but
Can I jump in and try and stab him with a knife instead then?
yeah, you can do that. So what will happen then? is it will go down to risky and standard. Yeah.
Okay, I'll do that. I'll wade in with him and try and stab the guy in the neck while he's stabbing my friend in the neck with a pen.
It's a massive neck stab
This
session.
is how we do it on the streets, love.
Oh, one other thing, Sterling, and Pence, I don't think you know, killing people is considered very bad form. You can stab him a few times. All I'm saying is, if he dies, the busies they've got ghost whisperers as well. They'll go, who did this? And they'll go, oh, it was that guy, he looks like this, or he hangs out with Francis Gay Farrell.
Too much heat.
So I'm just saying, be careful about killing, even gangs and stuff in gang wars. They'll usually beat the crud out of you, so you're out of it for a week or two. But killing isn't as prevalent as in other role-playing games that you might have been aware of. Yeah, just so you're. So you can do it, and in fact, that might be better that you've gone down to risky and standard, because if it was too good, you might have killed him. And do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So I've got 2 for skirmish, so I roll the 2, right?
Skirmish 2, yep. Does Pence want to give you a hand?
Well, I have
anyway, so.
I don't know. It depends. It depends how it goes. I mean, like,
I'll take 2 stress myself because I haven't got that much stress yet.
Have you rolled already, Sterling?
Yeah, I did, but I get an extra dice.
No, you can't do that. You can't. You can't do it after you've rolled it. Mate.
Okay, sorry. I'll take those off then. That was a 3.
Okay, so
I'm rolling well today.
You're rolling well, mate.
The thing that I like about this system is, it's not an adventure if everything goes well. It's not exciting if everything's going well. Pence is trying to bash him as well. He's just wrecking out. He's gone mental into he's got blood fury in his eyes, and it's just like ripping at him and stuff. You've never seen such an animal contained in such a meek and mild form normally. Such an intellectual form.
Oh, blimey, it's got the devil in him, I say.
And you're kind of over his shoulder
with out in the street, or is he in here?
With the dagger, trying to stab this guy in the head, but he's watching out. When you get there was someone else in the room, if you remember, you said, Frank, get the gun, didn't he? And you feel a bat.
Oof. Blimey.
He's actually whacking you with the end of a blunderbuss.
Right, yeah.
So you're going to get a wound as well. So battered, just right battered in level 1 damage. Okay. So there's a brawl going on downstairs that you can hear. Yeah. You can hear hey, get the gun! Things like that. As you're menacing this old geezer who's never hurt anybody in his life.
The help you bring along.
Never hurt anyone. Never hurt anyone. Is that what you're saying, Mr. Flint? I disagree with you. What about that time you took all the chicken out of my sandwich on the Orient Express? Think I like vegetarian sandwiches?
What else are you doing, Francis?
What else do I need to do? I'm not really.
Well, this demon's pretty much got him menaced, doesn't he? And giving him a heart attack. You can just continue to menace him and be generally evil if you want, or you can start robbing the place. It's completely up to you. Someone needs to make some money. I thought that was the point. And pocketing a load of this stuff is money. But I don't want to give you any more ideas than that. It's completely up to you what you do. If you've got other ideas, if you want to go down and help your friends because they sound like there's trouble downstairs, that is also up to you.
Yeah, I mean, the sensible thing would be to either help out or to get some more money, but
you're just going to menace.
I'd be vindictive for that. I want to menace him up.
Are you going to use a skill to do it, or is that just colour?
I'm trying to think what I could do. I guess I have a survey of the upstairs situation. So instead of, as this demon's doing this and I'm enjoying it, I just start to cast my eye around, hearing the trouble downstairs. I cast my eye around, just look for exits and just look at, just work out, has he locked the door up? Is it actually open? Could I make a run for it out of this door? So it'll be a survey roll, just for information, so hopefully help with the future roll.
That's controlled with standard.
Can I assist while I'm being
No.
battered? Can I look around the room for an exit?
No, you can't.
Upstairs though.
You've got to be like in the proximity to your system.
So I'm using survey, I think.
Okay.
Go on then. 1. It's just too much fun, menacing old men. This is like you're having the time of your life. You can feel like
you're
getting blacker as you're
away.
doing it, and it's just like delicious. It's the most delicious taste. And they say revenge is best served cold, like your chicken dinner. It's also best served like with a demonic demon on your shoulder as well. That
This
helps.
is when you served me warm beer that time.
Actually doing that.
That's interesting.
So while you're gloating over this, the door opens and you see a young lady standing there in evening wear. She goes, "Oh my goodness!" She sees you going. Let me just roll to see what she does.
What she does? Doesn't she have
What a
to
mess.
be a demon? Doesn't she have to freak out?
We look
this is a
like
choice. She's got a. It's a fortune roll, isn't it?
The police are definitely coming.
Whether she runs away or freezes. If she freezes, then maybe you've got time to grab her. If she runs off, then you're gonna have to think fast. She sees this horror scene, basically this it's scene from a nightmare. She's like, "Oh my goodness!" And the door swings behind her with a bell, ding, which kind of rouses you out of your menacing. You look over at her, going, she's you can see that the colour is drained from her cheeks, and she's like breathing with difficulty as her bodice is constricting her breath. What do you want to do? Well, shall we leave it there for a second and get back downstairs to where the other mess is happening?
I have my bandolier with me, and in my bandolier I already used one of the objects, which is the smoke grenade. And I have 2 other objects that I can use. One is standstill poison, which is the one that I have in the darts, and the other is the trance powder that make people trance.
Is there any way I can help him in this?
So,
yeah, I'm sure. If you want to describe it, so you see him like grabbing for his.
In the flashback, before we went in, he handed me a bit of his powder as well, or poison, so that we both had the chance to do it at the same time.
Okay, but that's going to be 2 stress in that flashback.
Yeah, I'm willing to take 2 stress.
That flashback.
Okay.
He's now got your vial of trance powder, right?
Yeah.
You're still rolling it. The situation is you're still rolling about on the floor. It's just that we've established that you handed him off like a defensive.
While we're rushing in, yes. And I said to him,
before it was like went through the door even. As you went through the front door, he's like, "Yeah, hold on to this. You've seen me use it in the past. You know what to do. Get in the eyes if you can. That's how it works quickest." Yeah.
And yeah.
But that's just the situation. You're still rolling about on the floor. You're gonna have to like.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna use my dart with prowl to see if I can pinch it in the other one that is while Sterling is wrestling it.
Oh.
Okay.
Well, okay. The way I imagine it is like you've got this guy on the floor that you're wrestling kind of over and over with, you and him.
Yeah.
Sterling kind of like jumped on 2 of you and started trying to stab you guys, didn't he? But missed it, and now is getting someone standing above Sterling and whacking him. Extricating yourself from this mess could be used with prowl. but it's more like skirmish or something like that. If you use prow, it's going to be pretty desperate. And
I see what you mean. Yeah.
yeah,
I
it's
don't
only
have
going to be limited
skirmish.
effect in that you're only going to get out of it. You're not going to have got to the point where you can use your blow dart on him yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I didn't think about the fact that of course I need hunt to use the the blow gun.
You can use it if you want. You can say, right, I'm just going to go bang and use skirmish on him or something like that.
But I don't have skirmish. I have prowl and
I mean, I'm good at skirmish.
And
Perhaps I could use the powder initially on the guy with the gun.
Okay, shall we do that first?
Yeah, let's do that first.
Okay, then.
Okay, so I've got 2 swords.
So you crack this vial in your hand and go and blow up into this guy's face as he's looming above you with this this club.
And that's a 5.
A 5. Cool. It's a success with a complication. Before you roll, guys, please wait for me to tell you what the situation is as far as what you're rolling, because
Okay, sorry.
like normally in other games you'd usually wait to find out what the DM wants you to roll on D20. Like you might say you've got to roll a 15 or something like that. The whole point of me saying, okay, that's a desperate action, but it's going to have great effect, is that then you can bargain with me to change those levels. Yeah. To say, okay, I want a standard effect, but just risky. Or do you see what I mean? Does that make sense to you guys?
Yeah.
Okay. So you did it, but with a complication. So, what could that be? I know.
My own eyes as well.
Yeah, exactly. So you're going to get a level of, just call it blowback. It's like your eyes are stinging, but your brain is kind of going all foggy, and you're like, oh, I could really do with a cup of tea. And and you're thinking things like that when you're just like, I'm in the middle of a fight, I've really got to concentrate. But oh god, that would be delicious, wouldn't it? Oh, a bit of cake. And your mind's just like, and it's going a bit swimmy, and you know what I mean? But the guy that you've got full in the face kind of just staggers back and kind of standing there with his blunderbuss in his hand.
I think I've got a slight case of the collie wobbles, lads.
You go, well, you're blind, the bully. Wobble to your feet. Now you've got reduced effect, as you can imagine. You're a bit baked out your skull, so that's why it's reduced effect and whatever you want to do. But you're still in it. Now, another system that I think we need to talk about. You've got something called resistance, which is when you get a level of damage or something happens and you don't like it. Like I say, okay, you've just got this damage. You can say, I'm going to try and resist it. And then you select what it is that you're trying to resist. For example, prowess. If you get stabbed in the neck, you might say, I'm going to resist with prowess. And however many pips you've got there, you roll dice. You automatically resist it. So the wound would vanish, or not vanish, but it wasn't as bad as you thought it was going to be. But you get stress equal to 6 minus the highest dice that you roll. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
No. Does that make sense? Yeah. So Sterling, well, I'm giving the opportunity, if you want to use this mechanic, to say, okay, I'm going to resist that.
I might try and resist and shake off the slight intoxication that's taking hold of me.
Sure.
What do you think that could come under?
That's a good question. What do you guys think? It could be any of them, really. I mean, it could be prowess, you're trying to resist it with your sheer kind of muscleness, or it could be resolve, that you're strong-willed, just saying, no, this isn't me. Or is it insight that you're thinking, okay, so keep it together, like focus. You see what I mean? It's how you resist it. It's different in each way. How are you going to do that? If you're metagaming, obviously the best way is to look down and look at how many pips you've got in the left of that line.
Yeah, but I want to do it realistically.
Well, this is a role-playing game. It's all made up in your head, mate. So realism is it's what you decide it is. So if you think, actually, I do need to resist this and I've got good insight, then I'm happy for you to choose insight. Can you see it?
I mean, I'm a bit of a bruiser. I'm a muscle-bound kid. I've been fighting my whole life. So
Is it prowess?
some have called me not. Yeah, fast carriage is because I'm built like a carriage and I can shake things off pretty fast.
Wicked. Okay.
So prowess.
So
Been
how many
poisoned
tips have you got in prowess?
I had to eat rat as a kid, and that teaches you how to shake off a bit of the collywobbles.
Okay.
And that'll be 3. I've got 1 in finesse, prowl, and skirmish.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And that is 4 as the highest.
Okay. So you're going to get 2 stress.
So I take 2.
You don't get that damage effect of
yeah.
And you shake your head, and the room swims back to solidness. Just everything's got a nice kind of glow to it.
Whoa!
When you're
I just
punching,
went on
then you're
a
getting some
trip
nice
to
trails coming off your arms. Pretty much like this video, actually. Pence.
Yeah, can I do a desperate
You
action?
feel the acid in your mouth, and you get that smell up your nose. You close your eyes so the little white flecks don't affect you, but you're aware that Sterling's just used an effect. What do you want to do?
I would like to do a desperate action. Let me explain. I would like to use the surroundings. To tinker a way in which I can make something either collapse or a kind of device that I have around me to knock the person down that I'm wrestling with. Can I do that with tinker?
So this room, it might have a couple of implements in here that you could use. For example, perhaps there's the gaslight lamp in here. You could perhaps use your tinker to grab that and stab that in his head. Do you see what I mean? You can use it, but it is still going to be desperate, like you said, because it's
okay. Let's
but
try.
obviously getting electrocuted or gassed in the face is quite nasty.
Yeah, let's try.
Is that what you're going to try and do?
Yes. Do you mind?
No, go for it. So that's a desperate with standard effect.
I'm gonna take the stress and get an extra dice. Yeah.
Okay, go for it. 3 dice then.
Yeah. 4 and 1. 4. 2 4s and a 1.
Sure. Have you guys really only got 2 dice? 2d6?
Mate, I think I have 2.
Yeah, I mean, like in your house, you've only got 2 dice for d6s. I mean, you got Monopoly or anything?
Ah, yes, I have only 2 dice. Yeah.
Oh my
No,
God.
I don't have Monopoly. It's gone. Whenever I don't know where it is.
Down to Forbidden Planet. Or
Worth
something.
owning.
Disgusting. Space of 2 dice.
You're never going just never do anything that asks for more dice than 2. Okay, well,
No.
you do it. You grab it
Yeah.
and bring it down on him with a smashing clash, and the liquid guts of this brass lamp pour out over him, but indeed also get you all the way up the arm.
Yeah.
So it was desperate, wasn't it? So
Yeah.
you are also a light, as is he. So you're covered in this liquid, and then because you've smashed the light on top of his head, you see like a blue flame go woof down his chest and over his face and arms, but it also continues to crawl up your arms and threatens to get you in the head as well. So you
can I use insight to resist?
Sure. You're about to get a level 2 damage there, so
Resist.
yeah, you resist. You using what? What?
Insight. Insight.
How are
Because
you
I know
using?
what I'm dealing with. I know the substance I'm dealing with, so I'm trying to
Okay. Sure.
To what do you say?
Stop, drop, and roll.
Yeah. You're used to
5.
counting.
Yeah.
You've got
5
5.
and 3. Yeah.
So you take 1 stress for
Right.
that resistance,
Uh-huh.
and you'll take a level 1 damage rather than a level 2 damage,
Sweet. Okay.
which is burning.
Burning. Okay.
So you drop and start rolling about on the floor and to put this out. Cool. Okay.
Cool.
You've got a that's you guys done. Back up to Francis.
What's she doing? She's just frozen in fear, I guess.
Yeah, basically I rolled for it and she froze. She got a very bad roll and basically she froze and the door closed behind her.
I just might take her to the next room and just put her onto a chair. I might just do that.
That might.
You might just remember that.
Sure. You want to help her in some way and make yourself not look as dastardly and evil as you actually are. Fine. Do you want to use sway for that? Is that what you wanted to use?
No, I was going to use that, but because I'm still not sure how to tune what you can use it for. Could I use it to like soothe her psyche? Is that a sort of thing a tune can be used for, or is a tune just for ghosts?
Well, pretty much mostly ghosts, I think, because otherwise, what's sway for?
Do you have any scented oils or massage oils?
Let's check. I might have actually. I have Demon Bane Charm, which might help her.
That might. Do you want to tick that?
Sure.
That will give you a dice, a helping dice.
Okay.
So
I try to just put my arm around her. How appropriate is putting an arm around her in this society?
Well, she's likely to faint and smash her skull in if.
Okay, I'll put my arm around her.
Escort her to a lounge.
Just find a chair for her to sit down in.
Yeah.
And if this is double 6s, then maybe the safe is in here.
Safe is a lie.
Well, it's close, but only 1 6.
1 6. You did it. Did you want to take her out of the room or just somewhere in this room?
Take her around the tiles, mate.
I can't leave this room. I'm enjoying the spectacle too much. It's enough that I'm spending some energy to
help someone else. Yeah, it feels wrong that you're helping someone else at the moment. So you escort her to a chaise lounge, a beautiful green leathered long chair. You say, "This way, my dear." Pull her over to it, clawing into her shoulder with your talons. You're like unable to like help yourself. As you twirl your moustache evilly. There's something you should not see. But believe me, this is rightful revenge. She's fainted on the couch. She will wake up like on the couch, like distressed. But at least at the moment, she hasn't been molested. You've got to be happy about that, I suppose. If you're a demon. So we're going back to you, Pence. Well, you or Sterling. You've got this guy on fire at your feet. You've got he's rolling about as well. Okay. And Sterling, you've got this this hired muscle who's just like staggered back, holding the blunderbuss upside down, like pointing at his feet, just like staring out into nothingness. You can see his pupils have become pinpricks. Maybe it's the magic dust you gave him, or maybe it's the amount of light that his friend is giving off as he's burning up on the floor.
Burning something alive.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want
what do you want to? What do you guys want to do?
The very first thing I'm gonna do is I'm going to toss this guy that is burning to the canal, if I can, so to extinguish the fire.
You grab him running out the front and go, lob him out the doors into the mist river and into the mist itself. He's swallowed up by the mist and there's a splosh.
Okay.
And that's him.
Sweet.
He was screaming, obviously, all this time, So I'm not
So we have
saying
to
that
be-
it's the stealthiest
Locals
mission
hear
that's ever
this.
happened.
Ah!
Whereas Sterling's left in this room with you can see this guy's just staring out.
Yes, I'm going to try and clock him on the head with his blunderbuss and knock him out cold.
You grab the blunderbuss and start trying to whack him around the head. Do you want to hit him then? What do you want to use for that?
Skirmish?
Yeah, you can use
Seems like a
skirmish.
skirmish roll for me.
It's a controlled roll with standard effect.
Okay. I've got 2 in skirmish, so
Okay.
that's a 6.
Yep.
6
He
3.
goes down like a sack of potatoes.
Lovely. Stay down. Bad.
Yeah, he's down. He's out.
Bad.
At that point, you hear out the front, and you look around in this room. You can see that there was a metal gate behind the door here. This is the counting room. There is money stacked up on the desk that's been scattered. There's papers all over the floor now. There's a small lockbox with some monies and treasures in it. That's what's in this room.
Okay. I start getting the bag that I have to get some loot in it and start just throwing any of the money that I can find around into it.
Just go up to the table and go with all the stuff that's on the table and start robbing the place.
Robbing the place.
You rob the place.
Nice. Can I try and finesse the box?
You don't need to because it's just there. I mean,
All right.
you don't have to roll every time you do something. If it's physically possible for you to do it, then I don't have to roll to pick up this water. I'm not Trump. I mean, you don't know what I'm talking about? Okay, you had trouble drinking.
Yeah, I do. I vaguely do.
Yeah. So I'm just saying you don't need to roll for everything. You can just do it.
Hey. How much do I think I've gathered so far? Is that a lot of money? Am I still hungry for more?
Has anyone in the history of the world ever said that was enough money? I don't need any more of that.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, can I look for schematics and stuff, or for like scientific equipment that looks pricey and useful for me?
And you've got 2 dice now.
Yeah, it's fine. I didn't get anything, so just like I just tried the best, but I have like the highest roll that is a 3, so I just got only the yeah.
You only got the enemy
side
bit.
of it. Yeah.
Are you
Okay,
crying
fine. I mean,
defaults? That was awesome.
Right.
Okay, so
tried.
yeah, unfortunately, you're snuffing around looking for all these contraptions and things like that, and like magical bits of rock and stuff. Getting super excited when you hear the hue and cry go up as people have looked in the window and seen like this demonic red light streaming out of the front of this shop, and obviously that's attracted people's attention, and you can hear a hue and cry's gone up. It's time to go. You have to go. You shout onto Sterling, I guess, or
Yeah, let's go.
yeah.
Oh,
you're going.
boy, coppers, they're coming.
The other buildings. You all run off.
Never take us alive.
You run out. Francis, you run out.
I'll run downstairs and take the back entrance with those guys.
Okay.
Yeah, you take the back entrance. Yeah, kicking a puppy as you run out the back door. And
oh, I get an insane amount of stress.
You're just Gargamel, aren't you?
yeah, that's what he is.
Gargamel, what's that from?
Oh, the Smurfs.
Well,
Oh yeah. Yeah, there is something of him in there, I guess.
Yeah, I reckon so.
You have seen that he's worse, so this is his sworn enemy, He'll be the same when you come against your enemies.
You jump into your horse and your goat and carriage, and you clip clop.
Flashback. I dressed up the goats to look like a different goat.
Yeah,
So
he did. He's not normally black as Satan. He's normally a pure white
goat.
thoroughbred goat
That'll throw
with
people
racing
off.
stripes. But you've
A pentagram on his head.
Sorry, I thought we
Oh,
got a
him
boat,
up.
not a goat. Oh my god, I didn't understand that.
What's that?
I thought we were on boat, not on a goat.
No, on a
Oh,
goat.
sorry.
I'm
Okay,
on
okay.
a goat, motherfucker. I'm on a motherfucking goat.
Okay, a goat. That was a boat on the river. Okay.
All right, so you make it back to your base of operation.
How much coin did you guys get?
So,
I was the only person that really collected
stress.
much
Oh,
coin.
fuck.
I collected much. I got much out of that. I enjoyed it thoroughly.
you can actually
Handy
rob
old
anything. It's just terrifying people.
There were so much for covert. It was a pretty messy operation. We ended up one guy missing, presumed dead in the river. One guy that's been bludgeoned, probably in hospital. Another guy that's been killed, probably by a demon. A lady that will wake up with the police around her and tell them everything.